Hello, people. I was going to talk about Future Gohan and the Toonami stuff, but I'm kind of washing my hands with the whole thing. You know, I just don't feel like talking about Toonami, and I mean I feel like talking about Toonami is worth my time, but with this little war this little thing that's going on between Future Gohan and some of you guys out there, I'm not gonna get involved with it. I'm gonna take the high road here about the whole thing. Okay, and I will enjoy Toonami. I will enjoy some anime, and that's all it is. You can call me a tool if you want, people, but I don't care. Okay, I don't care. Basically, so. Anyways, to tell you something awesome, you know what I'm doing tomorrow? If you said Magov, well, I kind of did a little bit of Magov for you guys for the Sonic X thing. So, what I plan to do tomorrow, if I get a chance, I actually plan to release Team H, the Yoga Academy special. Uh, I plan to release it tomorrow, but first I gotta work. First and foremost, I mean, first and foremost, I have to work on it, and it takes me about a day for spell checking. I do a little bit of that. I do a little chunk of voice acting in that thing. I mean, yeah, I know it's just pictures, and I'm using words to make a story, and it's not like it's animated or anything. But I take pride in it. I love it. I love doing it. Um, a lot of you have been asking me, who did, who are those two guys that sent? I mean, you guys know the first dude that was actually helping this other guy named Mick Khan to for this one thing that's happening in the Team H thing. I'm not really gonna tell you who it is, but yeah, I'm kind of toying with a few things plot wise for Team H. Mainly just for the main character Bugsy and slash Argos or whatever. I should just start referring to him as Argos when I talk, so you guys will say, aren't you Bugsy? No, because I know some of you might say that. So to avoid any confusion, um, I'm just gonna call him Argos. It's pretty much because that's his original name. It's Bugsy is his Earth name, so it kind of makes sense. Okay. But mostly for this thing is mostly for Argos, and yeah, there's gonna be a lot of stuff in these three parts, which I'm going to combine to make one super part, which would probably take me a little bit more than a day. What I actually plan to do, I'm actually gonna probably see if I can do it, post it up for like an hour, because I have a bigger allowance of more time for my videos because I can post things up to longer than like 50 minutes, and I don't know whether I can do for like an hour or just if I can do like an hour or just 50 minutes opposed to the 15 minutes. So I'll just have to wait and see. Um, I want to talk about a lot of stuff I actually cut out of the DC saga because originally it was supposed to be real long, and it was actually supposed to stretch all the way to at least like May or March or whatever I was actually working on. It was actually, I think I was working on it January, but then I just said, I want to finish up everything and just start fresh. So yeah, this is actually supposed to be a little bit longer. There's supposed to be a love triangle. There's supposed to be a flashback episode. There was supposed to be a thing with Donna Troy and Argos. There's supposed to be a lot of things that I just didn't add in there. There's supposed to be negative, finding out that the Ultimate was controlling him this whole entire time, and a whole bunch of other stuff. And there's supposed to be a whole bunch of stuff that never really made it because my computer was being cleaned. Before Christmas and everything, and I think it was after Christmas or before Christmas, it just started, bugging out. So I never really had a chance to finish them all the way, and most of my stuff got cleaned. So I never really got. I mean, I had everything finished. I was gonna release it in a daily or weekly kind of fashion, and then my computer started bugging up, and I didn't have a chance to actually do most of the stuff I wanted to do with that arc. And maybe I will actually recreate some of the stuff that was actually supposed to be cut out sometime in the future, and maybe I'll give you the last part of the Gygas saga that was supposed to be, but that actually happened because, I don't know, YouTube wouldn't take it. It was during the whole glitch thing. And it was on my computer for the longest time, but I never thought of actually putting it... I never thought I'd actually be putting it... I never thought I'd actually be, using it. I should have, released it anyway, just to be sure. But it was sitting on my computer, and I just didn't do anything with it. And the result of that is when my stuff got cleaned, most of that got cleaned, and most of the DC Saga stuff that I was gonna, use got cleaned. It was supposed to be this big freaking arc, and it just, computer viruses and crap like this, stops me. I mean, it didn't stop me from trying to make it, but the only computer I could go to at the time was my sister's weird computer. And Bugsy's Game Off, I was actually supposed to do that too, but since my computer got cleaned and some weird stuff happened to it, it won't let me use Super Nintendo emulators, and that is just messed up because I was supposed to finish my Yoshi Safari Let's Play. The Bugsy and On Sakamaru Yoshi Safari Let's Play that I've been, doing. But since that ship has sailed, I actually had to make another one. Now, that Let's Play is actually going to be... I'm actually going to do it probably next month. And I'll do it the best I can. I'm not truly, I'd say, I'm a good game player, I'm a gamer and everything, and all that goodness. But let's just say with Let's Play, I tend to screw up more times than I actually do, and being a Let's Play, I try to not screw up so many times, but in that course, I eventually screw up without even thinking about it. Whether it's something I needed to get at another level or something like that. But I promise by at least the end of the summer, I at least plan to do a couple of Let's Plays for you guys. I'm thinking of actually doing a Game Boy Let's Play for some of you GBA players like me that used to play a lot of GBA games. What else do I want to talk about with you guys? I forget now. Oh yeah, a little bit about the Yokai Academy arc that I really didn't want to unveil. I mean, originally I planned, just this like this little arc where Bugsy and Harim, well, Argos and Harima and Ansakamaru slash Dark actually, go to, go back to the school that was this horrible freaking school. The teachers would always the teachers would either, if you watch Rosemary, if you watch, if you watch the anime that this is from, you know what I'm talking about. Um, Originally the first part and the second part was just supposed to be one part, but then I thought, yeah, I should probably split this one up, and that's what I did. Um, the I actually thought I wouldn't need a lot of action for it, but these next three parts are actually going to be a lot more fun. You'll see a lot more. Um, you'll see a lot more in the story. You'll see a lot more on Sakamoto slash Dark's powers, and you'll see a lot more Haru's actual powers. Because in my universe, everybody freaking has powers. Okay, but just to keep this in mind, people, Team H itself, the whole universe as I saw fit, its own its own world. I mean, yes, you'll see familiar characters from animes that you've seen, but yeah, they'll probably be altered by some little bit. And yeah, it's like fan fiction, but it depends on how you look at it. And I really do enjoy making these. Though a lot of people haven't catched on to the fact that I like to make mock-off, and they don't like to, I don't know, like to sit there at a blank screen, which I've been kind of working on, and so you guys don't see just a blank screen and just, these voices, talking at you. But, it's how it is. But anyways, with the Yokai Academy arc, it was actually just supposed to be like this light arc where, Bugsy and Harima and Ansakmaru slash Dark were actually supposed to, just friends, and you kind of learn a little bit more about how they were in school and stuff like that, which I'll probably cover in part 4 because I need to, and a whole bunch of other stuff. The reason I did backstory with Val, because a lot of people got on my nerves about, these characters are not how they're supposed to be. Some of them are not supposed to be Saiyans and stuff like that. And I was like, this is technically my world. I know the characters that you've seen from other animes are altered, some in little small ways, some in very big ways, but it's still pretty good and still pretty watchable. I mean, it holds somebody's attention. It holds a lot of people's attention, to be honest. Well, and what else? Let me see. I was actually supposed to talk to you about one other thing. Oh yeah. Anyways, there's about to be a backstory, but I thought to myself, this should have just a tiny bit of action in it. So yeah, I thought I'd throw Sephiroth in there because, in the early stages of it, I had a lot of foreshadowing with, Argos and Harimas and Ansakmaru slash Dark's like other siblings, and you kind of see how one of them actually see one of them for like a minute in the Gygus saga, but you really don't know much about him. And there's supposed to be a little arc with Zan, Bugs, Argos's twin brother that knows magic like him, a whole bunch of other stuff. And with Sephiroth, with Sephiroth, being this evil freaking character from Final Fantasy, I thought to myself, because in the get go I wanted Sephiroth in one of my stories for some kind of capacity, but in this world, they were, Argos, and Sephiroth was the big brother to Argos, and you know he Argos actually looked up to Sephiroth. No matter what he did, no matter what Sephiroth did, Argos always looked at him and just, said, I got your back still. Until he got banished, erased his memory, and some of the stuff from the Final Fantasy game, he came in as a result because of that. Well, in my story it is. Bugsy actually fought him once before, but in a different body. You know where I'm going with this, right? If you're not, you probably should go if you're a Final Fantasy fan and you really don't want to hear the rest. Freaking Sephiroth, Bugsy fought Sephiroth as Cloud, as a reincarnation of himself, but he never, but Cloud never really figured out that. When he was reincarnated, he never really knew about that, and then Cloud eventually, dies, and Argos comes back again in his old body for the fight that ensued. I will explain how Sephiroth actually got heartless, but Kingdom Hearts kind of gave me some of that leeway, so I'm probably going to use that. What else? And for all the people that know, I do these strictly for people's entertainment. I don't own any of the characters. I don't make a dime off of it. I just have fun with it, because back in the day, I used to, write a lot of stories. My best stories were Super Dude and my ill-fated fan fiction, Living in Tenchi's House. Oh boy, those were horrible, poorly written things, but I enjoyed doing them. So, I've already told people the story of how Team H actually came to be, so I don't really need to explain. Okay. Talked about some of the backstories. Talked about that. Oh yeah. Some people are wondering, am I going to give Dark and Harima any character development that I already haven't gave them in Mock-Off? Because I've said this to you guys before. Mock-Off and Team H are like two separate entities within themselves. Granted that they do have the same characters, the three same characters, but it's a different thing altogether. But just for the sake of referencing it, I'm gonna actually have Harima in that story be with Eri, just to kind of reference the other show that I do. So stuff like that, and like I said, the special is just a filler for something else that's going to happen. I've explained that before too. I think that's about it. I pretty much talked about most of the stuff that really, really matters. Some stuff you're going to actually see some stuff I'm going to hint at in one of these parts, and to the next thing that happens. Because the real mastermind that's controlling that has Sephiroth in his employ is going to do a little something else that the big three, and yes, they're called the big three in Team H too. They're not really gonna like, and it's really gonna be horrible in a way. It's gonna be so unspeakable. You know, you're gonna see some changes in some of these characters, and I didn't want to say this, but in one like scene, I'm gonna type like, and mostly, like keep in mind before I totally get out of here, that some of these, these are not fully animated things. These are kind of like little things that you read, and I'll type something, and you guys have to use your, your imagination, your thing that you use to make videos. For most of you. So what I'm saying, you're gonna see this one scene where you're gonna see this one scene that has just the big three, going, ape or ham or whatever on these Heartlesses. It's really gonna be awesome. From a your ready, your thinky standpoint. So it's actually gonna be pretty good. What else? And yeah, for most of the last thing I'm gonna say, I'll still talk about Toonami, but the whole thing with the fans and Future Gohan, I'm not really just gonna get into because, oh god, guys, I'm not gonna even try. I'm gonna just enjoy it also. I mean, I'm going to enjoy Toonami for what it is and just be happy about it. Okay. I mean, I don't want to. I'm not gonna make these little rants about how Adult Swim doesn't care and all this other stuff, because some of these stuff I talk to other people about, and I feel like I don't need to talk to it in video format with some of you guys. So I'm not really into ranting about Future Gohan and everything else, because he has enough problems as it is nowadays with all these people hounding him saying, "Oh, you hate Toonami, you hate this new Toonami that we all love." I'll say this, guys, that man has a different opinion than all of us, and we can either respect it or leave him alone. And if we see a video of his, we can either watch it or leave it be. Either way, leave the guy alone. Okay, I feel like I've talked enough about enough stuff for you today. Well, tonight, or the morning, or whenever you're watching this. See you guys later. And most of the stuff I talked about, for people that probably skipped to the end, which I know you do, and you're very evil for doing that. If you skip through all this, I was just talking about Team H stuff. I was talking about all my Team H stuff, stuff like that. And there's going to be a Sonic Boom on day 5, because I really need to do that too. But what I want to say before I get at, really just before I get out of here, if you're a fan of Team H, watch my stuff. If you don't like little crossover-esque superhero anime crossover kind of videos, and if you don't watch it. But I have plenty different variety of things you can actually watch on my channel. So see you guys later. This is Bugsy for probably the most longest talk I've ever done, and that's not including Markov or my other things. Probably the longest talk I've ever done. Just telling you, see you later. And also, I did that wrong. See you later. And just hope you enjoyed this video. And also, between you and me, there's going to be another on Sakamaru Blogs. And seriously, see how weird that is? See how I don't actually just... That's why I technically do an audio thing with Knockoff, because You know, hearing this voice coming out of my mouth, and you're actually seeing it. Isn't it weird? Isn't it weird? So, see you guys later. There's gonna be another Onsukamaru blogs too, sometime in the week or in the weekend. So see you guys. So keep a lookout for that. See you guys later. This is Bugsy signing off, and I hope you had a good time watching this video. Bye. See you later.